Hello everybody, back again for another Q&A extravaganza, part 2. Okay, let's dive right into these questions generated by ChatGPT. Shout out. So the first one is, there are three. The first one is creativity and lifestyle. How does your daily routine or lifestyle choices contribute to your creativity? And are there specific habits or rituals you find crucial for maintaining artistic inspiration? Yes, the second question, I'll answer first. I think there are, sorry, I think there are specific habits or rituals that I do to maintain artistic inspiration. The first one is I listen to a lot of music, right? So I think I always have to be stimulated, constantly stimulated by music, different types of music. Well, mainly hip hop, but I mean also like pop. I'll get into rock. Like right now, I got into classical, so I was listening to Chopin and Beethoven. Um, and also learning, right? Like reading up on new things, watching new YouTube videos. So like all of this will like get mixed up, and also my personal life experiences will all get mixed up, and that's how I will like, that all of that contributes to the creativity. Um, and as for my routine or my lifestyle choices, well, yeah, those are my lifestyle choices, right? Like I decide to read every day. I do a little bit of math here and there. Right now, I just started picking up a language again, German. So I think all of that, I don't like to filter things, right? Like I don't like to say, okay, this is not going to do me any good, or this is not going to be beneficial. I'm like, no, like I'm more than open. I like to think of myself as like open to new ideas, to new ways of thinking, right? Like I watch the both Al Gore documentaries, so I can criticize it, right? Which, as someone that doesn't believe in global warming, that was kind of hard to do. But I did it because I wanted to see what the information, I wanted to hear the arguments, right? And that way I could get the information I needed to either say, you know what, I hadn't seen it that way, you actually changed my mind. Or you know what, like even though you said all these things, I can see, the holes in your logic. So go and watch that video if you haven't watched it. I worked really hard on it. It's like 40 minutes long. I think it's one of the longest videos I've ever worked on. But yeah, I'm open to like the new ideas and new ways of thinking from people. The next one says evolution in music. As you anticipate your upcoming album Domination, how do you perceive your evolution as an artist, both musically and personally? And are there specific themes or styles in Domination that represent a new phase in your musical journey? Mm, well, I hear my music from like a couple, like a while back, like maybe like a year or two ago. And I noticed that I didn't finish like the song, right? Or like the verse. And sometimes I would like, because I do three voices. So sometimes it would be like out of sync. The voices would be out of sync, or this voice said it like this, the other two said it another way. So I think now I have more control on that. Musically and personally, well, I think personally, I've really grown to just accept my life the way it is. Like if I do one day get famous, I guess I don't really care, right? Like, well, I know I shouldn't care. I mean, I do, but I shouldn't. And I think personally, I've come to accept that a little bit more, where I'm like, before I used to say, like, I'm going to put in work, I'm going to make music, and, hope that with this song or with these songs, I get to be famous. Now I don't really look at it that way. I look at it more like as a hobby, right? Like, this is something I like. This is something I'm going to continually do, right? And are there specific themes? Well, Domination is actually a little bit aggressive. I've been writing. Well, I write to the beat, right? So if the beat is like aggressive, I'll write like aggressive lyrics. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm just like, talking about if anything at all, about people in general, like just random people on the street that stare, or like that I don't like, that I'm just like, what the fuck, or people in traffic, right? So, but domination is the concept of domination is actually this idea I had when I was like a kid. I don't remember how old I was. Maybe I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. And because I've always been into music, so I made like I got like these CDs, right? Like these discs and like the case, and like I made like the layout, like the design of like 4 albums that were supposed to be like this concept or this theme where it would basically go from I think it was first madness, then chaos, then devastation, and then domination, right? And it was supposed to be like the process of basically like a revolution, or like a type of like a type of social or civil war, or even cultural war, right? Where first there's madness, right? Like everyone's going crazy, and there's chaos, which there's chaos is like destruction, right? Like people will actually start doing something about it and go to war. Then after that, there's devastation, so everybody's like wiped out, or mostly everybody, and destruction, and the aftermath of destruction. And then after that, there's domination, which is like the crowning of the person. So this album, I just went right for the last one, and I was just like, I'm just gonna call it Domination, right? And that's like the where that comes from. One day I would hope to make the other ones madness, chaos, and devastation, but we'll see. And impact on audience, considering the depth in your lyrics and the diverse topics you explore, what kind of impact or connection do you hope to establish with your audience? And how do you navigate the balance between creating music for personal expression and resonating with a broader audience? I think I make music for me mainly. I don't really have a lot of people that listen to my music. But I'm open to criticism. I've lately been thinking about maybe making some other type of music. I've heard people tell me like make some rock, try out rock. I tried to make an experimental album, but it was kind of weird, and it was mainly hip hop. It's just I'm very into like the hip hop, so I'll try to add hip hop into like rock, or even pop, like singing. And I don't think I really have a good voice to sing. So people mainly, the audience, I think they mainly like I was watching this documentary on RBD or RBD from Mexico, which they became like super popular, and they tour around the world. They sold out stadiums like like no other artists have before. Well, like only like the top tier artists have in history. And but their music is pop, right? It's like teenage, kind of like Backstreet Boys, but there were like 3 men and 3 women. And I don't think I could really see myself making that type of music. I think that type of music really connects with people. I think even though like nowadays they say hip hop is, has commercial success, I don't really think so. I think the hip hop fans are still limited, right? They're still they are still a small group. So you can't really get like a broad audience with hip hop, right? Like you would have to switch it up. You would have to try out like singing, or and what really sells is like heartbreak songs, like singing about he left me, she left me, I loved you so much, this type of shit, which I also couldn't really see myself doing, because when I start writing, I don't really have something in mind. I just start writing, and whatever comes to mind from my unconscious, that's what I write about. So yeah, I mean, but I'm open to the idea. I mean, I could try it in the future. And I think that's all I got for this Q&A. So I hope you liked the video. Thank you for staying till the end, and I will see you next time. Bye.